George Kilpatrick Inspiration for the Nation, celebrating people we feel good about. So this weekend, either one or two things have happened. Either the nation's SNAP benefits have been canceled for millions of Americans, or there's been a last minute deal to make those benefits available. Nevertheless, it means food insecurity for many in the community, and even more so because of the uncertainty and overall food insecurity that happens every day, regardless, right, of the situation with the federal government. Lynn Hy is a chief development officer with the Food Bank of Central New York. Lynn, what are you preparing for?
Right now, we are preparing for SNAP benefits to not be issued out to individuals and families starting Saturday, November 1st. So we have already made additional food purchases. We've been meeting with our network of emergency food partners. So that is, so we're in 11 counties. We cover Central New York, the North Country, the Mohawk Valley. We have over 500 programs that we work with, and those are the food pantries, soup kitchens, and shelters. So we're having ongoing conversations with them to find out what they're seeing, at that ground level. And they're seeing people, an increase of people already coming in that are concerned, they're panicking that they don't know where they're going to get food. So we have already started purchasing additional foods, and we're monitoring where there's high levels of need. We have our traditional that happens all the time, fresh foods programs, in our mobile food pantry, but do we need more? So we're going to be, meeting at the food bank on a pretty much a daily basis, to determine where do we need to be and how are we going to go to infuse more food in these areas where there are very high pockets of people that had access to SNAP benefits that maybe don't have their SNAP benefits now.
And how it works, right? Supplemental nutritional assistance program.
Program.
Right.
Yes.
And
Yeah. So I
so
mean, everyone calls it food stamps. It was called food stamps for years, and they renamed it SNAP. What SNAP is supposed to be? It is supposed to be. It's right in the name. It's supposed to be a supplement to a household's budget. It's supposed to help them get by throughout the month. And we know that there are, hundreds, thousands of households that it does help them get by through the month with the money that they have in their budget, and then this extra money that they get through SNAP that they don't have to go to a pantry. So we're really trying to get information out into the hands of people that have never had to use the food pantry network before. How do you access food? What do you expect? What do you have to bring? All those types of things, because there's a lot of unknowns for those people that SNAP really is working for, and they don't have to go to a food pantry.
all right, so let's just answer those questions that you just raised. How do you do it?
So, first of all, is you go to foodbankcny.org and you go right, the first thing that you can click is called Find Food, and you put your address in, and it actually brings up all of the food resources that are closest to you in the community that you live. So you can find your food pantry. Is it open? And if it's not open, which food pantry is open? Is there a fresh food site? Is there a mobile food pantry? Is there, who's your SNAP outreach worker? Is there a food sense distribution site? All of the things, all those resources that are available. And then when you go on to the food pantry, there's questions, there's intake questions. They're asking you, where do you live? How many people in the household? Those types of questions. And there's a self-attestation on the household income as well,
Mm-hmm.
which if it's a family that has been receiving SNAP, they will already automatically fall within those income guidelines. Then at the food pantry level, we have what's called the choice system. So individuals and families can go in and they get a points allotment based on their family size, and then they can choose the items that work for their family, because not every family has access to a full kitchen. Maybe they don't have a freezer, they have limited refrigeration. So, or, maybe there's dietary restrictions as well that they need to consider. So they will then be able to choose the foods that work well for themselves and their families.
I love it. And so you said something earlier about food sense, right? And now food sense is available to people regardless of income. And that's something that people may or may not be aware of.
Yes, so Food Sense is one of the longest running food bank programs, and it is open to anybody. It is a program that people pay for. So, and because you're paying for it, there aren't those income guidelines. It's a once a month distribution. So, what we do is we put together what's called a Food Sense box. It's $20.50. You can actually order it right online. You can pay cash or debit. If you do have SNAP benefits, you can actually pay for it with your SNAP benefits. And you choose the site. There's sites in all 11 of our counties. You choose the site where you want to pick it up. And it really is a box that's designed to help you stretch your budget dollars. Depending on what store you shop at, typically that $20.50 box is really giving you a value between $35 and $40. It has some frozen protein items, it has fresh produce, and then it has pantry staples. And we really design the boxes so that with meal planning in mind, so that the ingredients go together, so somebody can make a meal out of what is in that box. There's other specials. Sometimes we have protein boxes, sometimes we have produce boxes, and all of that, again, open to the public. You go right to foodbankcny.org and go, it's under the need food, kind of get food, and you can go to the Food Sense site from there.
Now, for people, so in this time of transition, again, these SNAP benefits could be suspended as long as the government is shut down. We should say that all of this is happening because as we speak, at the time of this conversation, the government remains shut down, and there's been no supplemental decision.
Nutrition assistance program benefits. Yes.
Right. And what I was basically saying that there's been no decision to make a deal to keep those going while the government is shut down. So, having said that, what do you need from the community right now? How can people, if they choose, step up and help the food bank right now? Do you suggest going to individual pantries, or do you just suggest making a donation to food bank directly? Is it cash? What are you looking for?
Yeah. So there's several ways. So first of all, what I'm going to say, if you don't follow us on social media, follow us on social media, because we put out a lot of information. So if you're looking for food and we have some pop-up distributions coming, that's where it's going to be. And that's where you're going to find it. But to help, first, right now, there's actually a what we call, instead of a call to action, the click to action, and it's in our social media. It's to click to let your federal elected officials know that you want SNAP funded. Because, that's really
so that's an action right now, right? Okay.
There is an action right now. Go to the food bank social media. It's on Instagram. It is on Facebook. It's on X. You want to click that to let your federal officials know that you want SNAP funded. You want this program that is such a basic need for families to get the funding it needs so those families can get food. Then you can go to foodbankcny.org. You can make a donation right online. You can do food drives. You can do virtual food drives. We can connect you with a pantry in your community. If you're not right in the immediate Syracuse area and you want to make a food donation or a monetary donation and you don't want to make it right to the food bank, we can connect you with a pantry that's serving your community. But we do work with that network of 500 pantries. And we do have volunteer opportunities as well. We have a fantastic base of volunteers now, but that doesn't mean if this is a prolonged, continued event, that we may need more volunteers. And again, that's on our website. We have an entire volunteer portal that lets you know all of the opportunities that are available to you, where they are, when they are, what activities you're going to be doing, and you can sign up right there online. And if there's like a special needs call for volunteers, that will be in our social media as well.
Well, that's awesome. Again, foodbankcny.org. And right now, the immediate need is to let you know of all the resources that are available in the community. Tell Congress, tell your elected official that you want SNAP funded no matter what's going on in Washington, because that's critical. And of course, we want to make sure that the basic human needs for our community are met. Food Bank is one of those places. And I wanted to get you on, Lynn. I actually saw the story on the news yesterday. I said, we got to get them on because we want to let our community know that there's support available for them. And if they need to make their food dollar stretch, there's resources available in the community. You may or may not already know that, but if this is your first time having to experience this, there is help for you right in your backyard. Food Bank,
There is.
CNY.org, find food, and it'll tell you the pantry that's available in your area. Anything else we need to know, Lynn?
No, just really, I like to just reiterate that in times like these, but not in times like these when there isn't a government shutdown. There are 1 in 7 people in our community, and it's actually 1 in 5 children, find themselves as facing food insecurity. They don't know where their next meal is coming from. And it really takes the entire community coming together in a multitude of different ways through volunteerism, through monetary donations, through food donations, through partnerships and coalitions to come together to meet the needs of our community. And we're so thankful that so many people step up and call, they heed that call to action, and to people like you, George, that have us on the show to help raise awareness that this is happening, right now during this crisis time, but it happens every single day throughout the year.
All right. So now, today, tomorrow, we have opportunities. Now and today is right now. But anyway, we have opportunities.
Now, today, tomorrow, the next day, all the days.
All the days. We want to make sure that we're here to help. All right. FoodBankCNY.org is how you can find a pantry in your area. You have till Thursday. I looked at the calendar. You have till Thursday to put your food sense order in
Yes.
for the month of November, so that you can get the box you want, and that's regardless of income. So make sure you take care of that. With that being said, thank you, Lynn, and I appreciate you joining me. Inspiration for the nation, trying to support our community.